attribute that in large measure to the legacy that was developed by the Augustinian priest brothers and our teachers who helped us to formulate the lives that we enjoy today. I would like to take an opportunity to ask all of the directors and the men who helped put this together, because it was a monumental task, to please stand up. We appreciate recognizing them. We have quite a program this evening. As you know, we have our Man of the Year. We also have the Jack Blasey Award. We're recognizing 8 classes, 55, 56, 65, 66, 75, 76, and 85, 86. This is remarkable because it's never been done before. To get all these men together and their families is most appreciated by us. We want to thank all of you for coming. We want you to also remember our Pope, Leo, and keep him in your prayers. And finally, I personally would like to recognize all the mothers and fathers who gave so much to send all of us to Mendel Catholic. Thank you.
Well, one of the things that somebody said to me earlier, and I appreciate it, we're going to keep this real short. We don't want a lot of speeches. We want to recognize the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Man of the Year, and then we're going to get out of here. So I'll be brief. I want to spend most of the time tonight mixing and mingling with the guys that you went to school with, the guys that you didn't go to school with, but always wanted to meet and enjoy yourselves tonight. But I want to spend just a moment to let you know why we do this. Mendel closed 38 years ago. And when it closed, we formed the Mendel Alumni Association with the purpose of preserving the memory of Mendel, advancing the lifelong bonds of friendship, getting together. I remember somebody told me once, he said, hey, I'm only involved in the board so I can go out and have a beer with the guys I went to high school with. Leave me. The other thing is we wanted to be able to host reunions like we're doing tonight, but more importantly, we wanted to support charities. Over the last 7 years, the Mendel Alumni Association has given away over $80,000 to about $40,000 of that goes directly to support Mendel Legacy Scholarships. So everything that we do has a purpose. We're just not sitting around, we're not Romeos, right? Random old Mendel men eating out. We're guys who actually do something and start to give back and keeping the Mendel spirit alive. So I won't go through all the numbers. You'll see around here, they've got numbers posted. Like I said, about $40,000 in Mendel Legacy alumni. We also want to recognize all the teachers, particularly the Augustinians and others who supported us while we were at school. And I want to give a special shout out because I didn't know if he was going to make it. For those of you in the 70s, remember Coach Don Lenton actually made it in tonight. We want to give him a round of applause. So I want to thank his family for bringing him off tonight. We really greatly appreciate it. I saw Father Kleiner back there in the back, and I appreciate him coming out, and Father Sullivan, and guys that I remember. So thank you all. Thank you, family, friends, alumni. As we say that, you know, Mendel men are gentlemen. And really, we're not gentlemen. They say we are. Some of us got real lucky, and we're able to bring our spouses tonight. So thank you to all the spouses who put up with us over the years. We appreciate you, and thank you all for coming out tonight. Enjoy. Blues Vote Forever.
And it's time to present the Lifetime Achievement Award, and to do that, Jim Blasey from the class of 1959.
Well, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. That usually quiets down a Catholic crowd, so thank you. Well, good evening, fellow monarchs, families, and friends. It's my pleasure tonight to introduce the 2026 recipient of the Jack Glasney Lifetime Achievement Award, Mr. Andy Upel. Andy, you want to come up and... The award was established a couple of years ago in honor of my brother Jack, who died over a year ago. Jack was affectionately known as Mr. Mendel. Many of you know my brother Jack. And he was dedicated most of his life to Mendel and the Augustinians. And Andy is in the same mold. You can read about Andy's many achievements in the program, but I just want to say a few words about his efforts for my brother Jack. Andy told me stories that Jack would ask him to go somewhere or do something, and he would do it. For example, and Jack asked Andy to go downtown with jewelers and get a watch. One of the alumnus donated, and he did. And he worked very hard, and he did on assembling a lot of the memorabilia for the Mendel Hall of Fame. And he salvaged these letters up here from the gym. So, not an under effort. I mean, to take these off the gym, store them in your basement. So thank you. If Jack was Mr. Mendel, then Andy was his right-hand man. And they made a great team. Every organization needs a worker like Andy, who's ready and willing to go where needed and to do what's needed for the good of the organization. It is in this spirit and in recognition of his service that on behalf of the Mendel Alumni Association and of my dear brother Jack, I'm very pleased and honored to present Andy with the 2026 Jack Glasney Lifetime Achievement Award and to thank him for all he's done for our old school. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Pretty humbling. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Bishop. You're next. Just a few words, and 'cause I know we want to get back to visiting and convincing with each other. Mendel Alumni Association Board of Directors, Bishop Turley, Father Pizzo, Midwest Augustinian Friars, Mendel Monarchs and their guests. Good evening. Thank you, Jim, for this great introduction. It was much appreciated. Receiving this award from my fellow monarchs is very special. It's special because it speaks to the spirit of Mr. Mendel, Jack Glasney, who was my friend. Thank you, Jack, for all the wonderful memories you helped create over the years while directing and presiding over the Mendel Alumni Association. You are truly missed. God bless you. I'm sure you're doing well in heaven. Probably running more Mendel Alumni Association events. I'd like to take a moment to thank two monarchs that helped us to continue Jack's legacy to preserve and grow the Mendel spirit and the Mendel Alumni Association. Pat Regan and Mike Dresden. Pat, where are you at, Pat? Patrick and Mike Dresden. Where's Michael? Thank you, Michael. Without these two, a lot of the stuff that my crazy ideas that came up with over the years was never really sustained. They made things happen, and they always do it. They probably will continue to do that. It's a great thing to have these two gentlemen as Mendel Monarchs and our Alumni Association. I would like to thank the Mendel Board of Directors for thinking about me and presenting me with this award. It is very special, and I am humbled. Not bad for Section 38 monarch, let me tell you that, all right? I would like to thank the Augustinian Friars for their support and guidance. Thank you, Father Pizzo, and all the friars for being there for us over all these years. I'd also like to thank my wife Eileen and our family for your support and time. You were and are always there for me and my cases for Mendel. Thank you very much. Most ideas that I came up with over the years for different events to support Mendel Alumni Association, I usually ran them by my wife Eileen first, and 99% of the ones that I came up with would say, that's not a good idea. So, thank you, Eileen, for being there to support me. Thank you. One of the things I'm so proud of is the Mendel Alumni Association Veteran and First Responder Committee. I was on the alumni board for a long time, and I needed a change, so I got involved with the Veterans Committee, First Responder Committee. And through that, we developed a pretty working team. Some of the gentlemen are here right now on our class 66 table. One of the things I'm proud of is that the committee was tasked with honoring our veterans and first responders. Over the last 2 years, we have held several masses and events honoring our fallen alumni, first responders, and our veterans. I am very proud of our last event in November. At that time, we had a special Veterans Day Mass at St. Barnabas with a wreath-laying ceremony immediately afterwards at all the fallen monarchs' grave sites. So we went to all the grave sites of all the fallen Mendel monarchs, and we met there as a team, set up a nice prayer service, and had a beautiful wreath at all their grave sites. I just have a special feeling for veterans because I'm a veteran myself. I was in the Navy, in the Marine Corps, as a Navy corpsman. So that's kind of why I kind of lean towards veterans group. Thank you. I just want to add one more thing. Can I have all the veterans and first responders in the room stand, please? All the veterans and first responders, would you please stand for a moment? Please, just stand. Veterans and first responders, come on. You know who you are. Don't be bashful. I know who you are. Thank you very much for your service. Let's have a really strong round of applause. Thank you. One event is coming up in April of 27. We're organizing an honor flight for Mendel men to go to Washington, D.C. on an honor flight. If you're interested in joining us, please see myself, or Mike Dresdes, or Pat Regan now, or send us an email message, whatever you prefer. But please keep that in mind. We have about, I think, 15 monarchs signed up already, and we'd like to get about 25 or 30 if we can. So please, if you are interested in going on an honor flight, it's a great event. It's something you don't want to miss. So if you're a veteran and you want to go, please see me after this meeting. I just want to know one thing before we go, before I go. The award I got, it says my name on it, all right? And that's all well and good, but I want to add one thing. All our veterans and first responders, your names are also on that award. I carry your names with me on that award. You guys deserve it just as much as I do. So thank you very much, and have a great evening. And as I always say, go Monarchs, go Mendel.
And now the Mendel Man of the Year Award, and we call up Father Tony Pizzo to present that.
Well, somebody only made the attempt by starting us off prayer to try to get our attention. But I'm just going to start talking. I never met a microphone that wasn't my friend. When Mike called me up or sent me the email and asked me to present Bishop Turley for the Man of the Year Award, I thought to myself, this is really quite the honor, and it's a privilege. If anybody knows Bishop Turley, you know you're dealing with an individual who was truly authentic, genuine, in choices and decisions he made in his life that has helped to transform lives. So I'm going to give you a few little narrative notes here, The Most Reverend Daniel Thomas Turley is Chicago-born, who served as a devoted missionary and the Bishop of Chulucanas, Peru. These are the missions that were designated post-conciliar times to the Augustinians of the Midwest. He served there for over 2 decades, known for his ministry of presence and advocacy for social justice. He has returned here to the States to work in formation and to continue to help out in the Archdiocese of Chicago. He was born January 25th, 1940 in Chicago. He attended Mendel Catholic High School and graduated in 1960. Right, Sam? Where are you? He's not even here. Oh, you were. Okay, come over here, stand next to me. Come on. In the meantime, he entered the Order of St. Augustine and was ordained a priest in 1968. He spent pretty much all of his life in the Peruvian missions. In 1969, he began what was intended to be a 5-year mission in Peru and ended up staying for 52 years. Much of his early ministry was in remote areas of Peru, where he famously traveled by horse and mule, sometimes for up to 14 hours, to reach 120 isolated villages in his parish. He was ordained a bishop in 1996 and served as the coadjutor bishop before succeeding to the See of Chulucanas in the year 2000. Do you know what the word coadjutor means? All right. I'm not going to tell you. Look it up. Now, it means that he served simultaneously with the Bishop John McNabb, as John McNabb was about to retire and move on. In the meantime, during his tenure, he was a staunch defender of the rights of local communities, particularly in environmental and mining disputes. His vocal support for peasants against large-scale mining operations led to significant tension and even death threats during the mid-2000s. Bishop Daniel Turley was instrumental in building local vocations and helped establish a satellite college in Chulucanas to improve access to education. He was very active in all of his ministries he was there, but always spoke on behalf of those who believed that they were voiceless. He's currently retired. Pope Francis did accept his resignation finally in April of 2020 upon reaching the mandatory retirement age. He has returned now to Chicago. On the south side, he is, as I mentioned, formator for our pre-novices. This is the initial level of formation as guys discern to come into the order. And as of 2026, he continues to remain and not only in formation, but he helps out the Archdiocese by going around and celebrating confirmations. He is currently rector of the Shrine of St. Francis Xavier Cabrini in Chicago's Lincoln Park, and he continues to make his rounds all over the place. Dan is amazing. I was coming up to the friary in Hyde Park, St. Augustine, when he was still resident there, just a few years ago. And I told him I was in front of the house in my car. I was going to pull around, and this guy at the age of 80 starts to compete with me by running alongside the car on the sidewalk to give me a parking space in back of the house. And I thought, gosh, if I had that much energy at my age, I'd be just as happy as him. So my friends, we're very blessed to honor Bishop Daniel Turley, who continues to be an inspiration for so many people who know him. And so, I'm not going to speak anymore. I'm going to allow him to speak. Bishop Daniel Turley.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Father Tony. Fellow monarchs, friends, brothers, looking out at all of you, I am reminded that while Mendel closed its doors in 1988, the Mendel that we knew is completely alive with all of you. It's alive. The spirit of Mendel continues. And I stand here with a heart full of gratitude and deep humility to be named Man of the Year by you. It's an honor. I accept it not for myself, but on behalf of the community that formed me. I thank God for the opportunity to have studied at such a great school, Mendel Catholic High School, administered by my brothers of the Augustinian Order. We often say Mendel was a family. That is a family, still. And that is so true, and it's a very special thing now that has happened for all of us. Think of the Prevost family. We had Louis, class of 69. We had John, class of 72. We had Millie Prevost, the mother of Louis and Joe, in the library of Mendel High School. And then they had their brother Bob at St. Augustine's in Holland, Michigan. And for years, what a blessing. What a blessing to know that through that family, we as Mendel family now share a connection to the lineage of Pope Leo XIV. And it reminds us of something very beautiful, that in that little corner of the southeast side of Chicago, where Mendel, now is Gwendolyn Brooks, was always a part of a larger picture, a sacred history, a history that spans from the south side, from the campus of Mendel, all the way over to the Vatican. And because the Pope of the Church is universal, Mendelssohn somehow is a part of this big world, this big picture that we are all part of. And my own journey took a definitive turn in 1960. I graduated from Mendel. I entered the novitiate of the Augustinians in Economowoc, Wisconsin, my classmates out here, Brother Bill Sullivan, Brother Tom Taylor, I don't know if there's another classmate from our division. Bill Keating was the president of my class in 1960. He went to our novitiate. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. What a blessing to become an Augustinian. I just want to remember some very special people who taught me at Mendel. One of them was John C. McNabb, Bishop John McNabb. Now he taught me religion when I was a senior. And I always made a joke, and he didn't like the joke, because he taught us a course on matrimony. And I said, you scared us so much that I entered the Augustinian. And, you know, he was great. I had a senior teacher of physics. His name was Al Burke. Father Al Burke was preparing to go to Japan at that time. He was already trying to learn a little bit of Japanese. He went to Japan and spent his entire rest of his life in Japan. A great missionary. He certainly touched my life. He interested me very much in missions, and what a blessing to have had him as a teacher. I also had another Augustinian, Father Connie Lee Kane, as teacher of religion, and he taught me so beautifully what religion meant. Every time he came to class, he came with the newspaper under his arm. And he put the newspaper and he said, that's what it's all about. We have to bring Christ, we have to bring goodness to our world, to the streets of Chicago, to our world. And then we begin reading and commenting on the newspaper and helping us to relate what we are learning about God and about all our values at Mendel. We had to put them into action in our world. What a great priest. He went afterwards to Chulucanas, Peru, Father Connie Lee Kane. He was the first Augustinian superior of the mission in Peru, Father Connie Lee Kane. He was outstanding friars. They were great people. To have had the honor of being a bishop with Chulucanas after Bishop McNabb. All of this is a grace in my life. Everything that we learned on 111th Street, Mendel, wasn't meant to stay in the classroom. It was meant to be carried to the missions, to the farmers of Peru, to the care of God's creation. It was like all of you, bringing all of your values, all of your love, all of your goodness to so many areas of our world, of our city, of our world. So what we learned at Mendel was never meant just to stay in a local area of the South Side. It was meant to go all over the world, just like you are doing, all of you. In my years in Peru, I've seen that our work is never either or. We must harmonize modern technology with a deep love for nature, for creation, for goodness, for the poor, for the migrants, for the refugees, for all people of God. I just want to mention one other priest who was very special. His name was Father Kaz Pazera, because he had a shortwave radio. And during the terrible time, 75,000 people died in 1970 in the earthquake of Peru. Because of his shortwave radio, many people were saved because of our brother, Kaz Pazera. And later on, he was in contact and helped us stay in contact with the world, asking for help for so many people in need, because he loved the radio, and he knew how important it was to get the good news out. And he helped us save many lives. I thank the Alumni Association, I thank all of you for this recognition. I thank God for the gift of my vocation to the Augustinian life to follow our Lord. I thank all of you for keeping the flame of the monarchs alive. May we always be of one mind, one heart, intent upon God. Thank you very, very much. God bless you.
Bishop Dean Curley. Thank you, Bishop, for being an example of Christ's love in our world. We appreciate it.
You know, Bishop is just systemically a very humble guy. And I wanted to share just one long line with you, and that is, he says that when he went down to Peru, he thought he was going to bring Jesus to the people, only to discover that Jesus was there the whole time. He says he found Jesus there. Thank you, Bishop.
We also want to extend our congratulations to Joe McGee, Bob Munoz, and Coach Ed McAllister on their entries into the Chicago Catholic League Hall of Fame. Okay, here's stand up. I know Bob is here, right? Now, earlier we asked for the oldest person here at the reunion, and I was 88 years old. Now let's find the youngest person. It doesn't have to be an alum. So I think they're here in this front row. So I'm going to start. I was going to start at 60, but I'm worried we'd be at this for a long time. Let's start at 45. Anybody 45 or younger? What? Who's the youngest? How old are you? 33. So 33 is the youngest here today. You saved me a lot of numbers, I'll tell you. Oh, real quickly, we have the classes we're honoring today, so if you're a member of this class, if you're able to, please stand up and be recognized. Class of 55.
All right.
Yes. Class of 56. Class of 65. Class of 66. The mighty class of 75. The class of 76. The class of 85. And the class of 86. Okay, I'm going to mention one more time to split the pot. We're only going to be doing this for about another 15, 20 minutes max. And as of last writing, it was $1,725 total, or your cut would be $862. Please buy them. They're 1 for $10, 3 for $25. And be sure to bid on one of the many great auction items we have. Everything from Monarch baseball helmet to Notre Dame football suite. I mean, and all that entails, the goodies, the fun, the parking. And be sure to check under your seat to see if you have a slip that's good for a prize. Remember, you might see a slip underneath, taped underneath your seat, so check underneath. There's one at every table. If you're taking any pictures tonight of your table or your class, if you email them to one of the organizers, we'll get it on the MendoCHS.org website next week, and you'll be able to download them and have pictures from tonight. So only a few minutes left for the bidding on the exciting auction items and for split the pot. So let's get busy.